Well, it's been a while since I posted a video, so I wanted to kind of give an update of what's going on. As a matter of fact, my Tuesday night meetings have been canceled due to my other secondary business. So I want to talk about life after junk removal and what I've done and what you could do to otherwise evaluate the situation where you're at right now. Is junk removal going to do it for you, or do you have to do something else? Let's get into this video right now, guys. My name is Ricardo. I am the owner of junkguysdfw.net. We have Junk Guys licensed across the United States in different cities: Austin, Houston, San Antonio, Rio Grande Valley, LA, Washington, and other states also. We're in North Carolina. We're in Tennessee, and it's been an 18-year journey to be in this business. But this video is not going to be about me. It's going to be about the haunted house that I built. About 5 years ago, after accumulating so much junk, I decided to open a haunted house. But how did I get there? How did I get my business into that situation? And let's go on this journey. Okay, guys, let's talk about this right now. So I've been doing junk removal for a course about 18 years, and many junk removal companies have seen my videos on YouTube. I was constantly posting on YouTube, and after the haunted house over, I'm going to go right back to it. And I think throughout these years of posting on YouTube, many people, hundreds of junk removal companies have gotten advice from a lot of these videos that I post. And then many of those people have even turned around and questioned about the advice that I gave them. And it's pretty funny that most companies that I helped out will easily turn around and stab you in the back. And I realized that in this business, it's just a dirty business, and junk removal is a very profitable business, but it's also, you got to keep your enemies even closer to you, you know? And I've noticed that in the recent years, how quick it is for a buck to turn someone into an evil person, right? And it's pretty funny because not only did I take junk removal serious for over 18 years, but I think other people have found other ways to do it and make money and, of course, lose money. And there were so many things that I've taught over the last 18 years doing junk removal that people have used as an advantage to their own junk removal business. And some people decided to do it their own way and make money or lose money. Junk removal is a very competitive business. It is when it comes to answering the phone, the salesmanship, the kind of work you're doing, the service you're doing. But not only that, is the amount of computer work, the postings, the social media, and things that are related when it comes to anything that's done electronically on a computer. But I will ultimately tell you, now that I've been successful in the haunted house business, it's all led up to one thing: in junk removal and in the haunted house business, and that is pricing. You do not have to be the Mercedes or the Bugatti of junk removal or the haunted house business. As long as the price is right, you will get everybody to come to your place. This video is not a farewell video. It's a video of updates. It's an update to tell you, the junk removal owner, that starting another business, if you're not successful in this business, is a step that you have to decide if you want to do. I have ran a very successful junk removal, very successful junk removal. As a matter of fact, in the DFW area, we've gone to Frisco, Arlington, Aledo, and Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I have trucks running around in those cities too. We have so many jobs that we actually contract jobs to my competitors. And I know all my competitors' friends. Unlike things that you can't do in New York or can't do in New Jersey or California, we here, Texans, we do things totally different way. When you accumulate enemies in other states, we accumulate friends. And they're called Texans, so that's pretty funny. And there's no relation to me to getting any battle with anybody about this. It's the proven fact is that Junk Guys has always been a dominant force in the junk removal service when we landed here 18 years ago, and will continue to in the next decade. But one thing I did learn from this whole experience of doing junk removal for that long is that it's not the only thing that pays good. So a few weeks ago, I posted a video against one of my rival junk removal services. That's not even a rival or competitor. By no means is he a competitor to me, or am I a competitor to him. But in the online world, we're keyboard warriors where we just talk smack, and I love it. We just go back and forth. But there are some questions that need to be answered. It took me over 7 to 8 years to really make really good money in this business of junk removal. 7 to 8 years. It really did. I remember being in this business and being able to pay bills and driving a nice car and have a nice home, but not really able to collect that money and have it in the bank. It took me about 7 to 8 years to realize, holy cow, I'm actually saving thousands of dollars. And it's a step-by-step procedure. See, these young kids these days have these mythical unicorn ideas of rainbows and unrealistic ideas that they'll get to that position. They want to run. This is not a race. This is a marathon, guys. You got to walk it, and they eventually take longer strides. The same people that you see online have been doing this less than a year or 2 years, 3 years maybe. And then they make up these crazy ideas. I'm going to tell you, by the way, when a person is going bankrupt or a person is ceasing operations, it's when they decide to sell their business. Whenever someone says they're going to sell their business, it's because they're not making any money, and the only way they can get out of this by having that social media contact with other people is to say they sold their business. I am not selling my business, Junk Guys. My business is very successful, but I'm going to keep it. There's no way I'm giving up 30, 40 contracts that I have with commercial clients and realtors and landlords. There's no way I'm giving that up. But the residential side, I'm going to hand that down to probably to Junk Guys Frisco or Junk Guys Aledo or Arlington. And we'll spread those thin. But what I am going to do is journey into the haunted house business. Now, I'm embarrassed to tell you this, and I want to make myself clear with this, that over the last 18 years, I have taken a beating. My body has taken a beating. Both my shoulders are messed up. My knees, but not my back. My back's always been, I've always had a limp from football. But my back is great. But my shoulders doesn't allow me to work out. My knees don't allow me to stay on my feet that long. So I wanted to do something else that was different. And the haunted house was born about 5 years ago when one of my friends, George, decides to, Ricardo, why don't you open a haunted house with all this junk that you collect? And then we built a haunted house on Halloween Day and put a little sign outside, and we were selling tickets for $5. We sold tickets for $5, and that night we made $450. It was me and my 3 sons scaring people throughout the night. Me, my 3 sons, and, of course, George. And the next year I told George, hey, let's do it again. He's like, let's do it. We did it for a whole week. And that whole week that we made money, we made $17,000. $17,000. And I knew at that point that it's hard to make money in junk removal and make $17,000. I knew it was difficult. And I said, if I could blow this up, I can make this into a top-notch business. The next year, George passed away of cancer, and I decided to bring in my sister Maribel, who at the time I did not know she was going to be one of the best set designers I've ever seen. And me and Maribel made $119,000 in the month of October. And that's when I knew that I had to change my ways and change the path of my future. In 2023, I hired 2 general managers, David and Emily. And I left the money bag of the JunkYard Haunted House in Dallas to start a new venture in Fort Worth. I opened a secondary haunted house And that's where I work at as of now, in the 2024 season and the 2025 season. We are profitable after the first year, and we're profitable now in the second year. While the Dallas JunkYard Haunted House, the one I left and started from the scratch, has been running for 5 years. 3 of the years I ran by myself. In the next 2 years, I allowed Emily and David to take over as general managers. And they have done an great job that we're actually going to open another location this next year. I made a video about how profitable this business is and how did I do it so quick. In less than 5 years, I've had 2 haunted houses, and I'm looking to open my 3rd one in the next year. We only operate 19 days out of the year, 1 month out of the whole 365 days. Out of the 12 months out of the year, we operate 1 month. Okay? Now, this is embarrassing for me to say this to y'all, but I want to be honest. I've always tried to be honest with these people, and I call out people all the time. I'm notorious for doing that. I'm notorious for doing crazy stuff. But I want to tell you that in 1 month that I accumulate finances in my haunted houses, it surpasses what my junk removal service does for a whole year. And it's embarrassing. And that's why I'm changing careers. I will not be leaving Junk Guys. I'm just switching over to start doing haunted houses full time. I will still be doing junk removal, and I still will be doing my videos. There's not going to be any changes in that. I love doing the videos. I think they're funny. You got something on my teeth? I do got something on my teeth. Where is it at? Right there. Yeah, I do got it. It's like right here. Regardless, we charge $25 a person to go in my haunted house. $25 a person. About 20% of my customers, every 10 customers buys a Fast Pass, and the Fast Pass is $45. That's cutting through the line. We charge $25 a person, and about 20% of my customers buy a Fast Pass for $45. So, if you take out your calculator right now, I would like to show you something. Something that would be educational. So pull out your calculator. I'll give you a second while I talk. Get your phone, pull out the calculator, and I'm going to show you something. Because see, one thing I like to do is talk, but I also like to walk, and then I show it to you. This is my Dallas location right here. I'm sorry, that's Fort Worth. This is Dallas right here. This was Saturday of last week. Now, I want to tell you something about Saturday last week. We got stormed out on Friday, and it rained this day. Right here. It rained on this day. So this was one of my slowest days that we had throughout the haunted house. But I wanted to show you the results. Now, keep tabs on this and count how many people there are in this picture, because you'll be surprised. As I roll this video, look at the amount of people in this video. This line goes, it's 3 lines, and it goes down about 300 yards. I paused the picture there so you can see the end of the line. That line stayed that way for 4 hours straight. From 8 to 9 to 10 to 11, 5 hours straight actually, to 12. And it started storming at about 12 o'clock, so they closed early. That day, get your calculators, we had over 1,590 customers. Most of these customers paid $25, but there was 20% of them paid $45. So you got that number in your head, right? You got that number you calculated. 1,590 customers. And how do I know that? Because we have numbers for everything. That's what I'm really good at. But while they were doing numbers like this, I was doing numbers like this. This is the Fort Worth Haunted House. And the Fort Worth Haunted House right here is a second year in the business. I'm going to show you the line in this haunted house, because this one was Saturday night too. And this one was not a busy night for us. It was actually a very high traffic day, but it wasn't a busy night for us. It wasn't the busiest that I've seen. And here's something that a lot of people don't know, that while I'm recording this video right here, the one in Fort Worth to my, I guess you're looking at it right here, right? Right here, somewhere right here, right here. This was not the busiest night. The busiest night was the week before. I'm recording this video on Tuesday, the 28th. I want you to look at this. Now, these are the people that are outside. I want you to imagine. Because, see, we don't keep the people outside. We actually keep them inside the building. As I walk into the building, this is the outside of the line, and this is going to be the inside of the line. So I wanted to give a perspective that I managed to get the haunted house into this kind of business in less than 2 years. The inside of the haunted house has enough for 150 people. And all the rows are filled up at this point. Now, I came to tell my sister this day. I said, Maribel, you need to rush the line. We have too many people outside. And I tell her, look over and see the people, the lineup of the people. And I looked over and I said, look, move the line faster. And she was unaware how busy we were that night. And that's what we did. We moved the line. The back of this line and the back of that line and the back of that line. What's extraordinary to me as myself, as I see this, I'm like, wow, how did I get to this position? How did I manage to get these many customers in 2 years and in 5 years? How did I do it? It was consistency. That's all it was. It was just being consistent in this business. And it's funny because I've been consistent in junk removal and I was successful in that business. And I've been consistent in the haunted house business and I've gotten this successful. The night last week in Fort Worth, right here, we did 1,200 people. That's what we did. Now, I'm going to repeat this one more time. 1,200 people at $25 a pop, with 20% of them being $45. And then you're going to realize a number that you're going to get, and you're going to calculate that, and you're going to go, huh. And then you're going to wonder, if I did this in one night, and it wasn't the busiest night, what am I going to do Halloween weekend, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Halloween weekend is always 45% higher than any other weekend. Do I, and does this business, is it viable? Well, of course, guys. And how did I do it? And that's what I wanted to show you. Because this, again, is common sense. I use two things. One of them was TikTok. And the other one was Facebook. That's it. I posted continuously, consecutively, and I was consistent with my posts on a daily basis. These posts that I did are the same posts that I did for YouTube, or did for my junk removal service, and I was successful in that. Now, I know you have a number on your calculator, or you assumed how much I made that night. That was one night. I do it for 19 days straight. 19 days. I'm sorry, not straight. 19 days in the month of October. And that was not the busiest weekend. That was the third busiest weekend because it rained on me. So I want you to think and get those numbers in your head and go, oh my gosh. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I've been on YouTube for over 14 years. I've been on social media for about 10 years. I have been posting on Facebook. I have been posting on TikTok for the last 3 to 4 years in junk removal, and for the last 10 years on Facebook. Have I got business off of both of them? Yes, of course. And are they customers? Yes, of course. If I can do this in a new business and surpass, now I want to say something, and this is not going to sound arrogant. This is going to sound logical and straightforward, because I think that's what y'all want me to be, is straightforward. And I want to be straightforward with this. That my haunted houses accumulate more finances than 100% of every independent junk removal owner out there in the United States of America. And I do it in 19 days. Both of my haunted houses are more profitable than 100% of every junk removal service in the Americas, including myself. If you make $1 million in junk removal a year in sales, like there's some idiot out there that says that he makes $1 million, your margins are about 10%, or hell with it, we'll just say mythical, let's do a mythical number of 20%. That of $1 million, you make 20%. Do you know what that number is? Because I do. It's $200,000. My haunted house looks at $200,000, sees it in the rearview mirror. And we laugh at that. So I want you to consider, if you make $10 million and you make 5%, you might be close or not to my haunted houses. I want you to think about that. I'm a normal guy, but there is life after junk removal. Oh, there's plenty of life after junk removal. These haunted houses take a lot of work, a lot of time out of your family, and a lot of money. To put into words, that Monday, yesterday, my payroll was $4,500. On Saturday, the 24th, Friday, the 24th, 25th was Saturday. My payroll was $9,000. 2 days in a row. Most junk removal companies don't make $9,000 in a month. And I'm spending it per day. I saw this video of this young couple up in Kyle, Texas. I think we all know who they are. These little fakesters. These imitators. They're going to teach you everything they know. Those are the kind of people that you got to stay away from. The people that say things but don't show you anything. They show you an apartment and a trailer that they have lease payments on and a truck that they still don't pay for. And that's all they show you. But they don't show you the insides of a line that for 5 hours straight will stay like that. And we'll see over 1,200 people or 1,590 people in Dallas. They won't show you that, but they'll just tell you that they did that. I'm going to show it to you because that's what I do. People, when they're in disbelief of these numbers, they question you. Of course they're going to question you. Why? Because they're living in the land of junk removal, not in the land of reality. Oops. That's pretty sad. Anyway, guys, I wanted to do this video to clarify a few things. And that is that there is life after junk removal. There is life. Don't be scared to step out of the norm and do something else if junk removal isn't working out for you. And if junk removal is doing good for you, then stay in it. But when you're reaching for that plateau, you got to be doing something else. There has been a lot of frauds in this business in the last few years. Matt Fitch was one of those bigger ones that really was fraudulent with a lot of people. And there are frauds out there right now. There are people that you trust in this business right now. There was a gentleman called Kyle out there that ripped off hundreds of junk removal companies. Matt Fitch ripped off hundreds of people. And there are people right now that are willing to do the same thing just for $1, just for $1. The reality is that I started my haunted house as a mistake, but a very, very profitable mistake. And I look forward and I challenge anybody out there, that if you have it in you, start another business. It doesn't have to be a haunted house, but take that risk at least. Don't be stuck in this rat race of hearing frauds and scammers out there trying to lure you into SEO, trying to lure you in social media. That is such bullshit. And I want to stand up for that small junk removal service owner that gets ripped off on a daily basis with ads or leads or Google holding you by the balls because they're Google My Business account. Fuck them. Be realistic and do it the right way. Use the tools that are in front of you to help you grow your business. And with that said, guys, have a great week and a happy Halloween, because my best week is coming this weekend. Today is Tuesday the 28th. We stay open tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I will start doing my live videos again next Tuesday. Tonight, I will cancel those videos to stay in my haunted house, because for my family, this is my future. So, I have not showed you any videos of my house being built or my containers on my property. And the reason is this haunted house takes most of that time away. So with that being said, have a happy Halloween, and I will catch you on later on. Have a good one, guys.